Hello, Year 10. Today we're doing another recipe for the bean seeds and nuts unit. I'm going to be doing roasted aubergines with a walnut salsa. I've chosen this recipe because it uses walnuts, but also pickled walnuts, which I thought was interesting and I thought a bit different. Um, so I've started by preheating the oven to 230 degrees. I've got two aubergines here that I'm going to use the fridge, and I'm going to slice down the middle. Then score the flesh. This is an Ottolenghi recipe. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do this straight onto the baking tray. So I've got a baking tray here. Olive oil over the top. And some salt. And then those go into the oven for about 40 minutes. Okay, guys, so while that's in the oven, I'll get started with the salsa. Um, Here I have got 85 grams of walnuts. So these are the, oh, hello, which way am I going? These are the ones with the walnuts. They are not the sweetest of nuts. There's an old wives' tale that they were good for your brain, and they are quite high in omega-3. So, yeah, potentially. So we're going to chop these up and pop them into the bowl. So, like I said, I've chosen this recipe partly because it's got the pickled walnuts in, which I thought was interesting, partly because it's savoury, and to try and sort of get us trying new things. Because obviously I could have picked a coffee cake with walnuts on, but most of us have already tried that. We can all make a simple cake. It's not going to push us for any further forward. That'll do. I'll go for some bigger bits, some smaller bits. Use a bench scraper to help me pick this up. Okay, so then in with this, I have got some chopped coriander and some chopped parsley now. The recipe says about a tablespoon of each, which I think should be that and about that. Now, if you know me, you know that I do not like parsley at all, at all, at all. But I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt, give it a chance, give it a try, see what it turns out like. Next, I'm going to add my pickled walnuts. So these are the pickled walnuts. Keep forgetting which way I've got to go. They look like this. They come in a jar, obviously in vinegar. And on the inside, they look, I'm never going to get my head around this, a bit like this. So you can see that sort of like the brainy bit on the inside. They are intensely vinegary. So here is the jar. And it says on it, pickled walnuts preserved in a rich spiced malt vinegar. Perfect for finishing cheese boards and perking up a pie. I'm going to try it. They are intensely vinegary, so I'm going to the inside. Make sure that I chop these up very, very, very small because I want that flavour to travel. So we're going to chop these up very, very, very small. Pop them into the bowl. Obviously, you would use the claw there. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, next to go into our bowl is going to be a clove of garlic. The original recipe says to crush it, but I'm just going to use the microphone. So I find you get more garlic stuck in garlic press or garlic crusher. It's just easier to do it this way. That'll do. Not that one. Just thinking about it. Where is that? Then we have got chili flakes. We're going for 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. 1/4 teaspoon. We have got, now the recipe does says 2 tablespoons of walnut oil, or no, 2 teaspoons of walnut oil even. I did not go out and buy walnut oil. I'm just going to use some olive oil because I just don't think, I mean, other than salad dressings, I probably won't use the walnut oil very much. So go with, it's only 2 teaspoons. I'll just use some nice olive oil. Then we need we need 1 tablespoon of the pickling vinegar. And we need 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar. Sure, if you wanted to use white wine vinegar, it would be absolutely fine. Can't see why it would be a problem. Okay, and then I need a spoon for actually stirring this. Need to make sure that garlic's really well distributed. Pinch salt, as always. I think a bit of black pepper. To taste. Do you know, that's really good. Parsley isn't particularly strong. I think it. No, that's good. Okay, guys, so they've just come out the oven. Look a bit like this. Turn that one around. Ow, 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 hot, obviously. They've just come out the oven. So, to our aubergines, we're going to add the salsa. Now, obviously, this is enough to feed 4 people. This is how I would put it on the plate. To take to the table, and then let people choose which one they wanted. But if I was plating it up in exam, I'd just plate up 1. This isn't a brilliant thing to make for your exam. There's very, very little skill in there. But it's a nice thing to have for dinner. And then on top of that, we're going to sprinkle some goat's cheese, which this absolutely does need, that sort of richness, fattiness from the goat's cheese to balance out all the acid that's been in the rest. Come on, the rest of the dish. Or if you don't like goat's cheese, you could go for like some feta or something. But something, you know, fatty. A little bit more coriander. And some pomegranate seeds to add sweetness and colour. Right, I'd really love it if you gave this one a go. Not because it's any particular high skill, but because it's something different, it's different flavors, and it's good to try new and different things. I'm going to have one of these now with some couscous, I think I'll go for. Enjoy!